I'm intentionally avoiding marketing things because there is things at the 10 to 20K a month level that you can do. Like you can invest into a social media manager, you can invest into some paid ads, you can invest into email marketing. Email marketing did help me get to like 15-ish K a month, quite frankly. But again, I'm trying to purposely not use marketing stuff for the sake of conversation. So once you have these two functions, you're going to be able to pick up velocity. And when you combine that with the documentation and the reporting of things, you're going to be able to keep more clients. Let's say it's January. Let's say you had 7 clients in January and you're making 10 clients and each client's paying you $1,000 a month. Because you retained them by Feb, now you're still getting paid 8K a month, but you signed up 40 clients. Now you're 12K a month. Okay? So now you got 12 clients in total. And then by March, you still lost 2 clients, but now you're back at 10K a month. But you got 6 new clients because things compound. Then things aren't additive, they compound. So now you got 6 clients and you got 10, now you have 16K a month, it's March. Say you had a really shit month, you lost 5 clients. Now you're at 11K a month, it's April. But that month you got 10 clients. That happens. Boom. Welcome to 20K a month. Now, is it gonna happen that easy? Probably not. But does that happen a lot of the times? Yes. We've grown every single month since March last year. Like Alex Hormozy's team literally reached out to me in January and I was super like complimented. Obviously they're gonna sell me stuff, but that's because we're doing, within their ideal range of clients between $1 to $3 million a year in revenue mark, right? But I am already aware that for me to keep growing, irrespective of anything, I need to increase my pricing, which leads me to my third point. I need to increase my pricing and charge more. Literally today, and we have a few clients that pay us this amount, I realized that I'm charging too cheap. I am charging too cheap. We have 100 clients and only a few of them pay us like 4 to like 7K a month. And I was like, what the fuck? Like we've literally built essentially a multi-million dollar, like low multi-million dollar organization from scratch, charging still relatively cheap. If I was charging an average, and we're not charging this quite yet, except for a few clients, if we were charging 7K a month, okay, for 100 clients, my company would be doing 700 grand a month, not like between 150 and 250K a month, which I'm still grateful for. But imagine having the 70 staff that manages 700 grand a month in revenue, which is just shy of 10 million a year, instead of 1 to 2 million to 3 million a year. So I'm also still learning. Why do I mention that for 30K a month? So now that you've got a system, now that you've got documentation of things, now that you're able to learn how to get clients because you have people that are uploading other things for you, to make the jump from 20 to 30K a month, 2 main functions. And I already explained it to you. You got to increase your pricing. You got to increase your pricing. And increasing the pricing in and of itself, almost overnight, will take you to 30K a month. And do you know what? That's why I was stuck at 20K a month for 1.5 years. I was like, I'm selling, I'm closing these clients. I remember one month when I was 22 or 23, I lost 10 clients in a month. And I was working so hard. I was still working corporate at the time, right? So I was working my corporate job as a head of sales at a startup while doing my business. I was stuck at 25K a month, right? And my company, the job I had was about 120K a year. And I was working, I was cold, guys, my eyes was red so much when I was in my early 20s. I was cold calling to the US and Canada for my agency, cold calling for my job as head of sales, and I was cold calling to Australia for my agency. I was calling 3 different markets damn near every day, including Saturdays. And oftentimes on Sundays as well, right? So why do I mention that? Even though I could lose 10, I'd bring in 10. Like fighting, but I was not growing. I was just reaching an equilibrium. And then I realized I gotta charge more money. I simply need to charge more money. No more of this 500 a month. No more of this 300 a month. I'm way too, and I had like 30, 40 clients. It was crazy, right? So I'm like, you know what, F this. I started charging, well, for me back then, when I was in my early 20s, it was like 1,000 a month. And then 1,500 a month. And then 2K a month. It's like, whoa. People are paying me. And then I realized, okay, I was churning the super small clients and the clients that were paying me 2K a month. And I was like, okay, they're churning because I've still not mastered the retention at that level. So now a lot of clients pay us 2K a month, but now my new bottleneck is I'm like, again, even though I'm doing we're doing like a couple million a year revenue this year, I'm faced with the same issue that I was faced with when I was stuck at 20K a month. which is I have to increase my pricing again. I need to make sure my average client by the end of this year is paying 5 to 7K a month, not out of greed, but out of skill set, retention, and data. Because we've solved demand. At 20K a month, you probably know how to go out there and get a client. You know what the talk track is, you know which areas you're hot, you know which areas you're weak. You have decent retention. But to get to 30K a month, most of you need to tweak your pricing. So